Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here. It is Sunday the 21st of October. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. As you know by now, the site's kept free of charge by the adverts around the screen here, so you coming back and using the site, using the charts, is what generates the revenue that keeps the site free of charge. Kicking off today with the Arctic Oscillation. You get this from, if you go to weather charts at the top of the page, then on the left-hand side, come under GFS Ensemble, you'll see the NAO, the Arctic Oscillation and the PNA listed under there. So on the Arctic Oscillation, you can see that we're still going into negative territory on the Arctic Oscillation, and on the North Atlantic Oscillation we're still hovering around that neutral to negative territory. Now what that means is that the westerly winds across the Atlantic are going to be weakened over the next 14 days. The ability for cold air to stay close to the pole is also weakened over the next few days, and two of those combined means that cold air can drain southwards into the northern parts of Europe, and that's what's going to be getting through the British Isles at the end of this week and into next week too. Don't panic though, it doesn't look like it's a real winter outbreak. I think it's just going to be a bit of a shock, with temperatures taking quite a plunge after the warm weather at the beginning of this week. Now, let's kick off first of all. This is a chart from Weather Online which shows the rainfall of the last 3 days over France, and just look how much rain has fallen here at Bordeaux. 72 millimetres in the last 3 days, 65 millimetres at Mont-de-Marsan, and we've seen totals of over an inch over much of France. So it really has been quite a wet weekend. And look at that, San Sebastian in northeast Spain, 111 millimetres of rain. That's over 4 inches of rain in just 3 days. So it certainly has been very wet down there. The reason for it, the culprit, was this trough you can see here, this yellow dip here. This is the 500 millibar flow, and it's that dip there, that trough, that's caused this heavy rain. And you see how that trough is just on the border, on the edge of the ridge here, and the combination of the two, what's led to those heavy rain conditions. Now, as I said, temperatures are going to be falling off during the course of this week. Going to be warm tomorrow, though, in the southeast if the cloud breaks, with temperatures up to 19 degrees Celsius. Elsewhere, probably about 14 or 15, but you can see how temperatures fall off rapidly, look, by the end of the week. So this is Saturday. You see temperatures really take a plunge, so we are going to be in for cooler weather. This is how the city graphs see it. There's the rise in temperature tomorrow, look, through London, and here's that fall off, look, through the course of the week until we get to Friday and Saturday, when we're then kind of bouncing around the 8 and 9 degree mark, and then a very slow rise in temperatures back up to nearer normal conditions of 10s and 11s into next week. And if we just look through the other cities, there's Cardiff, look, it's exactly the same trace effectively. Here's Birmingham, same again. There's Manchester, again you see this fall off in temperatures. There's Glasgow, and again we've got this rise in temperature, then this fall off before a slow recovery next week. Aberdeen showing much the same as well, with that fall off and then the gradual rise. So you see how it's going to be affecting, the cold air is going to be affecting all UK cities during this week. So this is the ensemble model then. This is the forecast for this evening. High pressure off towards the west, low pressure off towards the west, high pressure up towards the north. Now, we've got bits and pieces of rain across southeastern England during the course of this afternoon and this evening, but for many, skies are much clearer. Overnight tonight, the rain clears away. We're then under the influence of the high, but I think what will happen is, as a front comes westwards during the course of tomorrow, it's going to lead to murky, cloudy conditions across much of England and also Wales during the course of tomorrow. Bits and pieces of rain affecting the Midlands, Wales, northwestern England, but late on in the day what we could find is that the southeast becomes a little bit brighter. As that happens, if it happens, warmer air is in off the continent. Temperatures could nip up to about 19 degrees. Best of the conditions tomorrow for Scotland and Ireland, where we'll see some good spells of sunshine. And then overnight into Tuesday, high pressure still in control. I think cloud around, misty, murky for many, with bits and pieces of drizzle. Clearer in the southeast though, again with that warmer air still there. Through into Wednesday, high pressure still around, look, on Wednesday, but what we are going to see late on Wednesday is a front just coming into Shetland and nudging into northern parts of Scotland, that bringing some cloud and some outbreaks of rain later. I think through Wednesday generally, and on Tuesday, we're cloudy and we're damp and drizzly for much of England and Wales, although there will be some spots where it clears and allows some bright spells to come through. By Thursday, we're going to be seeing the colder air starting to get in. It's a cloudier day for eastern and southern areas. Western areas probably staying brighter through Thursday, but the colder air then, by then, getting into Scotland and into northeastern England. By Friday, I think we're going to be finding the cold air down across all parts of the country. High pressure still in control. A brighter day for Scotland, Northern England, Northern Ireland, but still quite cloudy in the south. Bits and pieces of rain around. Although you notice how the ensemble just isn't picking up too much on that rain, because basically there's not a lot of it. But just look at the amount of rainfall here that there's going to be over central and southern parts of France and into northwest Spain, into northwest Italy and the north of Spain, because it's here where the cold air from the north and the warm air from the south are going to be meeting. So more heavy rain to come here. There could be some real flooding problems across parts of France and northern Spain again at the end of this week. And then into the weekend, well, we've still got high pressure in control, but these fronts coming southwards, so it's going to be a cold weekend. I think this is the position late on Saturday with a front coming into Scotland. That it will be dry down towards the south with some sunny spells, but as that front drifts south on Sunday, I think many areas just becoming raw on Sunday with outbreaks of rain, particularly Scotland, Northern England, the Midlands, East Anglia and the South East. Excuse me, whereas the west and the south tend to stay on the drier side. And then I think cloudier conditions through Monday across many parts of Scotland and also Northern England and Northern Ireland. Drier and brighter to the south after an early frost and perhaps some mist and fog patches. Then for Tuesday the 30th, cloudier conditions generally for many. The high by then having slipped south, and the excuse me, the GFS tending to pick up on more of a southwesterly flow. So if this happens, what we'll find is some drizzle and some cloud across Scotland and Ireland. But I think through England and Wales, we're still going to be stuck under cooler conditions. I think misty and murky, and that reluctant to clear through the day. After that, the GFS does want to bring in more of a southerly flow, so it brings milder, more unsettled conditions into the country during the early part of November. But what I want to do is just to compare that with how the ECMWF sees things developing, and it's this date around Halloween that is the all-important date, because it's that that's presenting itself with some differences as the charts progress. So what we want to do is to compare those charts, and let's just look how the ECMWF sees it. So this is the chart for last night at midnight. Let's just get ourselves forward a little bit to there. Look, this is the 30th, and the ECMWF brings low pressure into northern Scotland, brings strong winds, brings some heavy rain in there as well, and then what it does is it brings that low south into the North Sea. Now, if this is the solution that transpires, this would bring much colder weather and a possible wintry outbreak to many central and northern parts of Scotland, with some significant snow on the hills, sleet at low levels, and sleet at low levels further south as well in these stronger winds. Now, what tends to happen in these situations is that the ECMWF performs better than the GFS, and this is the pattern that I actually am leaning to at the moment, and what this would do is keep us cold into the beginning part of November. So that's where we're going to go with the forecast just at the moment. This one seems to provide a more logical solution. So forecast overall is going to be turning colder at the end of this week, and then that cold weather remaining with us, but then this blast of colder air coming through around about Halloween and lasting into the early part of November. I think what would then happen is that around about the 3rd or the 4th of November, so that would be around Saturday or Sunday, the 3rd or the 4th. I think what then happens is this ridge out to the west builds in. I think we could then find us going into milder west or northwesterly winds. I say milder, but it would still be cooler. But you see this low that's formed off down to the south here, that has to go somewhere. So that may well just move across again into Spain and Portugal and into parts of the Mediterranean, bringing more wet weather here during the course of that period from about the 3rd to the 10th of November. But I think overall it's this colder spell that we've got to look forward to at the beginning of November. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching once again. As I said before, the sites get free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. See one you like, please do use it. And thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining. Bye for now.